Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. On today's show, can the Dallas Cowboys avoid another blowout loss? Plus, reaction to Philip Rivers calling the Giants pathetic for benching Eli Manning. And is it time for Russell Westbrook and the Oklahoma City Thunder to panic? Skip, Shannon, let's get to it. The 5-6 Cowboys host the 5-6 Redskins. Tonight, Dallas has lost their last 3 games, all without Ezekiel Elliott, and they did not score more than 9 points in any of those games. Dak has 0 touchdown passes and 8 turnovers during the losing streak. On the bright side, the Cowboys have won their last 3 games against Washington. So, Shannon, who wins tonight?
I was looking at that montage and that footage. I didn't see any touchdown passes, Skip. I thought as a quarterback, I thought you were supposed to put the ball into the end zone or throw it to your guy. What's going on here, Skip?
It's your floor. You tell me. You're supposed to be the Hall of Famer.
Yeah. First cousins. See, the thing that I like most about first cousins, Joy and Skip, is that they ask him, can you win us a game with who we got? As opposed to making excuses for who we don't have. See, like Skip Bayless, oh, we ain't got Sean Lee. Oh, this guy got hurt. Oh, Awuzie, he's been hurt all year. Jordan Lewis and Zeke got suspended. Tyron Smith, he got a bad back or he needs a walking cane. Making all these excuses. And all they ask Kurt, you're down 4 starting offensive linemen. Kurt, you're down your two stars. Jordan Reed hadn't played in 5 games. He's out again tonight.
Jamison Crowder playing?
What?
Wait. Oh, is Josh Doxson playing?
I'm trying to figure out now. Which one of those
Wait,
guys?
is Vernon Davis playing?
Which one of those
I'll
guys?
take all 3 of those. If you give me those, I'll take them because they're better than my 3.
No,
those 3 right there are better
Your
than my
3 makes way more money than those little penalty guys.
That's a fact. That's unfortunately a fact.
But they ask him to go out there and win. Pryor's on Terrell Pryor Sr. is on IR. Again, Jordan Reed, his 5th straight game. Now, we don't know if Trent Williams been in and out of the lineup. He missed last week. Might miss it again this week. Sharif, out again, Skip. So, I mean, he's been limited in practice. And all they ask him to do is, Kurt, hey, I know we down a lot, but can you go win us a game? He's like, okay, I'll do it. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going up to Seattle and do it. I'm going to do it on Thursday night, on Thanksgiving. I'm full of turkey. Going to get this money.
He is something.
Going to get this bread.
Yeah.
And he's doing. Do you know he was 2nd in the NFL in passing yards behind Tom Brady?
Wait, Tom Brady's 1st in passing yards?
Yeah.
Who knew that?
Walking to and Wentz 1st in touchdown. And got a high QBR. But we're not talking about him, Skip. We're talking about first cousins and what the Washington team.
Would you just pick it? Just pick a score.
Let's see. My crystal ball tells me 24-13.
Okay. That's not very convincing.
Hold on, time out, Skip.
24-13?
That's not convincing.
Yeah.
It's a pick'em game. I got Washington winning by 11 points.
It's not pick'em. The Redskins are favored by 1.5. So they're actually favored by 4.5, effectively.
Do you want those 4 points? I give them to you.
I'll take the 11.
No,
you give me 11.
No,
you just picked it 24-13.
No. Do you?
I'll take 11 right here, right now.
Do you want the 4?
I'll take the 11.
No,
Thank you very much.
No, you're not getting the 11.
Now, are you done? Because I think it's really my turn.
Go ahead. Take your time.
First of all, before I get to Dak Prescott and how unfair you continue to be to Dak Prescott, I'm going to pick this game because I'm going to give you all the points you just made. You are almost certainly right about this game. My offensive line, even worse than yours, is about to be decimated tonight because I don't think that Tyron Smith, he's iffy at best. I'm pretty sure Zach Martin isn't going to play. Lyle Collins didn't practice. I'm pretty sure he's not going to play. So all of a sudden,
Chance Green going to be in there?
He's going to have to be in there. Yeah, Byron Bell is going to have to be in there somewhere. So it's a nightmare of an offensive line backed up by an even bigger nightmare of a defense without Sean Lee, which has been historically bad in the 5 games. Historically bad. I'm going to get to that in just a moment. And so the Kirk Cousins who threw for 449 yards a year ago on Thanksgiving at Jerry World, I got him for 500+ tonight.
No,
seriously. Well, come on. 449, and then against this defense, I campaigned for Darrelle Revis, Antonio Cromartie. I said it's Sean Lee or bust. Bust. Nothing. It's a bunch of children back there against Kirk Cousins, who's pretty good playing 7-on-7, and that's what he's going to be playing. So, all of that said, I am still going to pick my Dallas Cowboys tonight for no reason other than I have been a lifelong Dallas Cowboy fan. And this is historically, to me, the best rivalry in pro football. If you look back historically, the craziest, wildest, most inexplicable, bizarre, surreal things have happened in this rivalry when you least expected it, all the way back to somebody named Clint Longley throwing a touchdown pass to Drew Pearson on Thanksgiving Day. Do you remember this one? Way back in 1975. Boy, I think you should know this game.
I was like 2 months old.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to say that's going to happen again tonight. I don't have any conviction about this. I don't have some huge hunch about this. It's not, I got a feeling about this. I don't have a feeling about this game. I just think it will be a cliche game on emotion and guts and heart and pride, or what are all those things, whatever's left in that Cowboy locker room. I think it will be on display tonight. And I think that Kirk Cousins will throw at least one interception, because it's going to take at least one, and it's going to take at least 2 turnovers forced by a defense that over the last 3 games has forced 1 big turnover.
Yeah.
So that's going to have to happen, because Kirk Cousins is, I remind you, 1-5 against my Cowboys.
Yes.
And he did lose at home on a Monday night to, remember that Matt Castle guy?
How long ago was that, Skip?
Yeah, well, it was about 3 years ago now. Yeah.
What happened the last 3 weeks? Y'all lost 3 games.
Kirk Cousins lost twice to Dallas last year, and he's already lost once to him this year. So I'm just going to say some Kirk Cousins factor will happen tonight, and I'm going to go Cowboys 24, Redskins 23. And I will take the 11 points if you give me right now.
No, I'm not giving them to you.
Now, back to what you've been saying about Dak Prescott. I think your argument against Dak Prescott has been misguided, foolish, lame, a very easy leap to a conclusion that is completely wrong, and maybe your handful of Twitter followers have backed you on this and validated what you've said because they hate the Cowboys as badly as you do. But here is the truth. Now I'm going to spit some facts at you. Sean Lee was in the lineup last year for 16 games. They went 13-3 in those games. This year, he has been in the lineup for 6 games, and he went 5-1. So over the last 2 years, they have been 18-4 with Sean Lee in the lineup. Would you say that's pretty good?
Yes.
18-4 is pretty good. Without Sean Lee this year in the lineup, they are 0-5. So in the second halves of the games that he hasn't played in, the score is opponents 114, Dallas 22. And let's just take the last 3 games in which you have just annihilated Dak Prescott and called him a bust, a flash in the pan, a one-hit wonder, that he got exposed without Ezekiel Elliott. But without Zeke and Sean Lee over the last 3 games, the score in the second half has been 72-6. 72-6 opponents, allowing a grand total of almost 800 yards of offense just in the 3 second halves. So is that all Dak's fault? You could maybe say it's a little bit of Dak's fault, but it's a whole lot of Sean Lee's fault.
For me, Skip, although I do appreciate every one of my followers, I don't need their validation. I think playing 14 years, winning Super Bowls, and having a gold jacket, that's all the validation I need.
So let's go back to this validation. No, I got the floor. I got the floor.
Let me talk.
Don't let me talk. I gave you the whole top of the show. It's my turn.
You've been talking for 8 minutes.
Help me out. Did Ezekiel Elliott play against the Rams this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Did he play against the Packers this year? Both home games at Jerry World. And what happened in those 2 games, Mr. Hall of Fame? Help me out. What happened in those 2 games?
How many points did they score?
They lost.
How many points did they score?
30 and 31, because who was the star of the game? Who was the star? Help me out. You know what? Ezekiel Elliott was pretty quiet in both those games, but Dak Prescott was pretty loud in both those games. Because he made you look foolish all last year for 11 straight games, all the way through the playoff game, which he played sensationally last year.
Talk about this year.
And through the first 8 games, he made you look foolish this year, game after game after game. And let's just go to those 2 games. Did he not light up the Rams that day through 3 touchdown passes, had a high QBR? Did he not light up the Packers? He had a QBR of 96.
What do I have at my restaurant? Dubs and ales. Hot.
Yeah, did Ezekiel Elliott rise and shine in those 2 games? I think not. I think those were big Dak star games. Interesting. Then we go back to what I thought was the turning point of the year this year at Arizona. What happened on that Monday night at Arizona? Did Zeke take that game over? Was he the star of that game? No, wait a minute. It was Dak Prescott was the star. That was this year. He was the star of the game. Do you remember the 10-yard run, the somersault into the end zone against the Cardinals? They had Carson Palmer at that point. Do you remember the 2 bombs that he threw while running to his right to Bryce Butler, who should be starting over Dez Bryant? Do you remember those 2? Mm-hmm. It was a 3-play game, and Dak Prescott made every play in that game and looked like a star. Wow, that's very interesting. And even if we just go back to the 2 Washington games, let's just look at last year. Do you remember what happened? The turning point game of the year last year after they lost the opener to Eli and the Giants? What happened when Kirk Cousins, your man, First Cousins, he threw an end zone interception. You remember that? He went to church, threw it to Barry Church. Then what happened when they went the other direction? 80 yards happened in 10 plays. Why was that? Guess what Zeke did in that drive? Zeke carried it from -4, and then 4, and then 1, and then 0, and then 1 in that drive. And Dak Prescott just lit it up, especially on 3rd down, and completed all 5 passes down the field, touchdown.
Well,
interesting.
Well, how about this?
Did Zeke do that?
Explain to me, since Zeke has been, explain to me then, why isn't Dak doing that now without Zeke? If he did it without him then, why not now?
So, at Atlanta, no Tyron Smith. Dak Prescott got sacked 8 times, not 3 or 4 times. He got sacked 8 times from his blind side.
Yeah.
How easy is that, Mr. Hall of Fame? It's not fun. You can't see it coming. You keep getting blasted by somebody named Adrian Claiborne, who had been a bust and wasn't even starting for the Falcons.
Look, you can make this. You can make this about Sean Lee all you want to. You can say.
Well, I just made that about Tyron Smith.
Hold on. 76 points they've given up in the second half. Yeah. But you said Dallas has only scored 6. How does
72-6.
Okay, well, explain to me, what does Sean Lee have to do with them scoring?
Okay, so let's go to the Philly game. Dallas ahead at halftime, but Dallas has the ball for only 11 minutes in the second half because Philly, running and throwing, Carson Wentz was terrific. They had the ball for 19 minutes to 11. And then what happened against the Chargers? What happened against the Chargers? It's only 3-0 at half, but the Chargers had the ball in the second half, 19 minutes to the Dak Prescott's 11 minutes. 19 to 11?
What did they do?
Your defense is horrendous.
What did they do when they had the ball? What did Dallas do when they have the ball?
Okay, who got the ball first in the second half against the Chargers?
The Chargers
did. What did they do? They went right down the field. All of a sudden, it's 10-0.
When Dak got the what did Dak do when he got the ball?
Did not move the ball.
Okay,
and then they get the ball back and go down and score again. Okay. Then they get the ball back and go down and score again.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Skip, stop it now. You being very unfair here. They got Chargers got the ball to start of the second half. They go down and score. When you score the football, then you turn and you kick off. They kick the ball to Dallas. Can you tell the people at home what did Dallas in the Dak Prescott-led offense, what did they do? 3 and out. The Chargers get the ball, go back down the field again, Joy. Touchdown. Okay, when you score a touchdown in the NFL, you kick off. They kick the ball to Cowboys. What did the Cowboys do, Skip? Can you tell the people at home?
Okay, I'm going to tell you what they can't do anymore because what has the Hall of Famer told me repeatedly all year this year? Dez Bryant is a broken down liability. Am I right?
Skip.
Broken down liability. So that was the quote-unquote #1 receiver. Broken down liability. What has the Hall of Famer told me about Jason Witten, who is the 2nd most trusted receiver? That you could outrun him now.
Okay, but
he can't get open on anybody.
He's still in the league, though, so what you want me to do?
What has happened to Cole Beasley, who led the team in catches and yards last year? What's happened to him?
Skip, he was
Wait a second. So the defense has said, wait a second. He's a broken down liability, and the tight end can't run, so we can single them now. Let's take this little smurf from SMU. Let's just take him away with double coverage.
Because you know why? Okay. Because they know Dak, all he's going to do is dink and dunk.
Oh, really?
So take the 3 to 5 yard away and make him throw the ball down the field.
So last year, at this point through 11 games, Cole Beasley had 58 catches. He now has 28 catches. Last year, he had, at this point in the year, 647 yards catching, 214 this year. Everybody is down. Dez's catches have gone from 16 a catch down to 11 a catch. That's a huge drop. Hey, who are you throwing to?
21.
Who are you throwing
21,
to?
Skip.
Even Terrence Williams' catches are down from 14 a catch last year to 12. What are we doing?
They built their offense around Zeke.
They actually built it around the playmaker, Dak Prescott, but he needs somebody to help him make some plays. They don't have anybody. I'll take the Redskins receivers like that.
Of course you
would
will.
too.
Of course you will.
Yeah, even after they've lost a couple of receivers.
Skip, you can make this about Sean Lee. You can make it about
It is about Sean
But
Lee.
your quarterback isn't playing well. He's turning the football over, Skip Bayless. And when, as you mentioned last year, when Kirk Cousins threw that interception, he went to church. He turned the ball over. Dak Prescott is turning the ball over. He threw a pick six.
Okay,
he gave up scooping scores.
What was the score when he threw the pick six?
It doesn't matter.
It was 28-3. It's over. Like you're just desperate.
No. That made it 28-3.
Okay, so it's 21-3. Yeah.
Skip, you play. So I'm just want to make sure I'm hearing you right. I want to get this on record. Let the court show that Skip Bayless said that Dak Prescott should play to the score, not to the standard. So that's what you said. It's okay to turn the football over if you're behind. You're
desperate. You've got nothing. He throws it in the end zone, and you even admitted to me. I showed it to you on Monday. He threw, last Friday. He threw him, does a touchdown pass in the end zone, hit him right here.
Yeah.
And who caught it? Nobody.
Yeah.
And Casey Hayward defended it.
And he threw one right to the DB who went 80 plus.
That was after that play.
Okay.
Okay, if you make that play and you go for 2 points and make it, it's back to a one-score game.
Skip,
wow,
Skip,
interesting.
Skip, I told you, if a dog had a square butt, it'll poop blocks. But it's round, so we know how it's coming out, Skip.
Yeah.
You keep making all these excuses. When Carson Wentz went through this very thing last year, his receivers couldn't hold on to the ball. Injuries. You talk about he's inconsistent. He doesn't have the accuracy. Now the very thing, you making all these excuses for Dak. But you know what my validation is? All my validation is all my years of watching tape. I told you all along, this offense is built around Zeke Elliott. And when he can't run, he can't succeed. I'm not saying he's not going to be good down the road, Skip, but now.
Hedge your bet. You've called him a bust.
I didn't call him.
You did too. You've written him off. You said he's a flash in the pan, that he's a product of Ezekiel Elliott.
Even when Carson Wentz was struggling and Dak was smooth sailing, the waters were calm and not a cloud in the sky.
That's not
I
true.
said Pennsylvania was the better quarterback. Because let me tell you what happened, Skip. They put him in a situation last year where he had to throw the ball. He and Andrew Luck are the only two rookies to ever throw the ball over 600 times. But what it prepared him for was this year. Because Dak got to determine, the Cowboys and Zeke, they got to determine they threw the ball on their terms. Now everybody say, you know what? We're going to sell out to stop your run because we don't believe your second-year quarterback is as good as Skip Bayless say right now. So we're going to put the ball in his hands. And what has he done? He's put the ball in the Eagles' hands, the Falcons' hands, and the other teams that he's played. So you can make it about Sean Lee and Tyron Smith all you want to. But until 2-1 comes back, your guy is going to struggle.
Oh, so you still won't answer my question.
What?
2-1 was there against the Rams and the Packers, and my guy didn't struggle at all. He
lost.
He played like a star in both games.
Dubs
Second game against Aaron Rodgers, he had a QBR of 96 on a scale of 0 to 100.
Hot L's. That's what we're serving up here in Dallas. Hot L's.
Go back and look at the drive that put them back in the game against Aaron Rodgers and tell me who was great in that drive, because it was not Ezekiel Elliott. Built around. This team was built around the playmaking of Dak Prescott, and now he has nobody to help him make plays. He has nobody to throw to.
Hold on, time out. So when he was making all those plays, who was he throwing the ball to? Are they not there now?
Bryce Butler a lot of times.
So he's still there.
He's there, but they won't be there.
No.
Why won't they play him? What have I said for 3 weeks? I would start Bryce Butler over Des Bryant. Did I not say that? I first guessed it.
So let me get this right. The Cole Beasley, the Jason Wittens, the Bryce Butlers, the Terrence Williams, the Des Bryants, they're still there. They have not missed the game. So what happened? Why isn't he making those plays, Skip?
Because you told me. You made the case. You made the argument.
Yeah.
Des, broken down liability.
He wasn't making those plays against Green Bay. He didn't make those plays against the Rams. So what's going on with Dak now, Skip? Dez hadn't made plays all year. So why now is it Dez Bryant's fault? Cole Beasley hasn't caught the ball all year. Why now is it his fault? You put blame on everybody else.
No.
Who touches the ball the
They
most?
all caught some balls against Green Bay and then against the Rams before.
Okay, so what?
I don't know.
And they caught some balls last week. And they caught some balls against the Falcons.
Williams has been okay. He's been okay. Hit and miss.
What about your quarterback? Can you tell the people at home what his quarterback rating is?
Who caught the balls against Arizona that changed the game?
Bryce Butler.
Thank you. He caught a 53-yarder and a 38-yarder. Wow, that's pretty good.
Oh, you don't want to mention that 41 QB that he had against Atlanta, or the 11 that he had the week after that, or the 14 he had on Thanksgiving.
How are you going to have better than a 41 when you get sacked 8 times? Does he block for himself?
I don't know. Ask Kirk Cousins how he did it.
Wow.
Without 4 starting offensive linemen and down 2 starters in the wide receiver position.
Well, another issue to your point about Dez, Skip, is that he is forcing it to him more now. In 13 regular season games last year, he was targeted 96 times. And through 11 games this season, he's been targeted 102 times.
Oh.
And his understudy, Bryce Butler, has caught 13 balls this year for an average of 20.5. So let's say 21 yards a catch.
Yeah.
21 yards? Does that work?
Yeah.
Mathematically?
If you remember Mike Gillisley, he was carrying the ball last year in Buffalo on like 100 carries for like 6 yards a carry. How's he doing in New England?
Bust.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it's easy to say when somebody has 5, 10 catches, oh man, if we threw him more balls, there's a reason, Skip, they watch in practice.
Well, the numbers would say he should be forcing it to Bryce Butler.
Yeah, and the numbers say Dak Prescott has been terrible since Zeke is out. That's what the numbers say.
So 2 of the best receivers you say are no good anymore, Dez and Witten. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He
so
had them last year.
Who's he supposed to throw?
He had them last year.
Who's he supposed to?
Have they gotten worse than last year?
No mercy.
This week, the Giants benched Eli Manning for Sunday's game, and that has drawn reaction from around the NFL. Eli had started 210 consecutive games, but the Giants are going with Geno Smith on Sunday. Yesterday, Philip Rivers defended Eli. Let's take a listen.
I honestly thought it was pathetic, really. A guy, he's been out there 210 straight games with no telling how many bumps and bruises and injuries for his team. Won 2 Super Bowls, MVPs. The respect he's had in the locker room over the years, really the respect he's gained throughout the league. You feel like the guys earned the opportunity if they are deciding, in fact, to go another direction. You feel like he's earned the opportunity to finish off these last 5 weeks.
We're joined by Fox NFL analyst Mark Schlereth. Stinks, you like that Rivers said this?
Absolutely, and I agree with him. Pathetic. And I think one of the things that's interesting to me is it's scapegoating. Using your quarterback, who has done all the things that he has done, and I know he hasn't played as well the last couple of years, but I look at Jerry Reese, I look at Ben McAdoo. What have you guys done to support him? What have you done as a roster? This is almost like mitigating your own disaster that you created. Like, look, it's not us. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain who's making the deals. Just go look at that guy over there. It's our quarterback is the problem. Their roster's the problem. They don't have an offensive line that can block. They don't have a running game that's any good. They've got, a diva wide receiver on one side, and they went and got another diva wide receiver on the other side. They're both injured. Like, how did you think that was going to work out? So I look at that and say, shame on you guys for putting your football team in this position. Eli's been a consummate professional. And listen, this is a battle of attrition. We all lose some of our skill set. But Eli is the least of the problems on the Giants offensively, the least of them. So good for Philip Rivers for standing up for Eli Manning, and I think it's atrocious. When you sit there and you tell me that we want to look at our younger guys, we want to see what we've got, and then the answer is we're going to go to Geno Smith, well, you've seen that story. It played out right across the street. It's actually in the same stadium, but right across the street. You've seen that one play out in a Jets uniform. Don't tell me you're going away from Eli Manning because you want to see what you've got and then say Geno Smith is a guy. This is not a Kurt Warner, Eli Manning situation where Kurt Warner was 5-4 and they went to Eli Manning. Eli Manning was a first pick, yeah. Like they knew what they were doing there. This is Webb, a 3rd rounder, I believe, and Geno Smith. I mean, listen, man.
Would you have felt better had they skipped Geno and went straight to Davis Webb?
Yeah, I suppose that I would understand it more if they did that. Mm-hmm. I still don't think it's the right move because I think what you've done is you have neglected the parts of the game. And you know how I feel, Sharpe. You build a team from the inside out.
Yeah, you front to back.
Yep.
O-line, D-line, go back.
Right. And they have, no offense to the guys they have, but the left tackle they drafted has not worked out. He should be an inside player, but you just decide, hey, we're going to go down this road regardless. You can say that across the board with their offensive line, their running game. So you haven't supported the guy, and you make it look like, oh, it's Eli. He's not any good. No, you guys, Jerry Reese and Ben McAdoo, you haven't done the job.
I understand. I understand Phillip Rivers because the quarterback is probably the closest fraternity. They used to have the quarterback club. They go down to Orlando, Skip, and they have their skills, competition. They have a good old time. So they came in the same draft. They were traded for one another.
Yep.
And Phillip Rivers says, we're not close friends, but we're friends. So I get it. It's kind of like in my draft class, I came in 1990. Emmitt Smith was in my draft class. Junior Seau, Cortez Kennedy, rest or so was in my draft class. I'm closer to Emmitt than I am those other two guys. But, you come in the same draft class,
right,
you're kind of friendly. There is really no easy way to tell someone they're fired. If I'm on a job, Skip, and do I need the boss to call me in or call me at home? Or do they give me a puppy and some balloons and still tell me I'm without a job? Because this is what this is, Skip. Eli Manning has not played well. Eli could have done, if all Eli had to do was play better than what he's played, we would not have this discussion. Eli hasn't played well, and Stick, you know this.
Right.
There have been so many players that have gotten benched because of their play. Now, maybe it's not them per se, but DBs get benched, linebackers get benched, but it's a quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, a Manning in New York City. So now you got the perfect storm. Skip, the dude hasn't played well. On Thanksgiving, he threw for 113 yards with under 50% completion. And Skip, if they let him go to these last 5 games, let's just say for the sake of argument, they win 2 of their 3 next games. You know what the fan base is going to say? We get Odell back, we get Brandon Marshall back, draft a running back, Eli okay. See, it's never going to be good enough for the fan base, Skip. Winning Super Bowls does not give you a lifetime contract with a team. Not winning 2. Winning 5 now gives you a lifetime contract. But come on.
As long as you keep playing well.
How about winning 2 over Tom Brady? That doesn't do it?
No. No.
I don't know.
Because
that's some cachet, man.
Because guess what he followed it up with, Skip? Leading the league in interception.
I know.
So what about that? So what should they have done then when he threw 26 picks?
Look, I'm more with you than with you on this one. And I admire Phillip Rivers, and I respect that he stood up and said what you love that he said. And Eli is a really good guy, and he has been a class act in a tough place to be a class act in. He has been Derek Jeter-esque in New York City.
Yes.
I get all that. But what to me is mostly pathetic is the fact that Eli's team has missed the playoffs 5 of the last 6 years since the second Super Bowl run. So only 1 playoff appearance in 6 years. And he was the quarterback of all those teams. And the one time they did make it was last year when, over the last 6 games, including the playoff loss at Lambeau, that offense failed to top 20, to score 20 or more points in all those 6 games. That's pathetic. And, Eli has led this league in interceptions not once or twice, but 3 times he's led the league in interceptions. And if I replaced the name Manning on the back with Smith,
nobody got a problem
with it. He would have been
it.
gone.
Nobody has a problem
He wouldn't have
with it.
lasted this long. So he had 2 magical Super Bowl runs, just all-time great, in which they went 4-0 and 4-0. But the other 4 times, Eli's team made the playoffs, one and done. So he's 8-4 in the playoffs, and you don't have that much to show for a long career.
Correct.
And I don't know how much longer you can go I think it came from, although John Mara was saying yesterday, I wasn't involved in it.
Yes, you were.
He did it.
You're not making that move with that guy.
Yeah.
Right.
And I agree with you. It's not Geno Smith. I think they just wanted a short bridge to get to Davis Webb because you just got to find out pretty soon who is Davis Webb was pretty good at Texas Tech. He sort of went back and forth with Baker Mayfield, then he lost the job to Patrick Mahomes. Then he goes to Cal and he goes 37 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. Well, I think he can throw it. He's 6'5", 225. He's prototype. Right. Is he Eli Manning? I have no idea. I think they just need to figure it out because they're probably going to have a really high draft pick. Do they need to draft a quarterback or not?
They will have they're going to have a top 5 draft pick.
Yeah.
So you need to find out if this young man can play because you're probably going to be in the draft. You're going to be looking for a quarterback. But here's the thing. I don't believe Jerry Reese. I don't believe Ben McAdoo. And I definitely don't believe Eli Manning will be there. So for me, I don't understand Ben McAdoo. They tried to bring Ben out here to do this, Skip. This was ownership and a general manager. And Ben got forced to do the job. Ben didn't make this decision. You're not making this decision with a quarterback with Eli Manning's background.
Yep.
A head coach is not doing that. Not no second-year head coach. Maybe Coach Belichick could do that, or somebody that has cachet. A third-year coach is going to be able to do that.
Isn't that the problem with your organization in general, though? You hire a guy, you appoint a guy, but you don't empower a guy?
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
Like, if you don't empower your head coach,
I agree.
as players, and Shannon and I have sat in the same locker room together, as soon as that coach, as soon as you start to question that guy, the decisions he's making, what's going on, when he separates from the tenets that you establish as an organization to make sure that he gets his way, you all start to roll your eyes and go, oh, God, here's this guy again. Yeah. Like Ben McAdoo walks in and go, oh, there's Ben McAdoo. Oh, wow. Can't wait to listen to him talk this morning.
Can you imagine we're in Denver and Mike says something, we don't agree, we go to Mr. B. Mr. B like, you don't get your butt out of my office.
Right.
Well, first of all, that only happened once, because the next time, as soon as Mike heard about it, because he had cameras everywhere, he see you walking upstairs to go into Mr. B's office, you're going to be gone.
Yeah.
Who did? Who went to the office?
No, I'm just saying, if Mike said something and we didn't like it.
Did you ever go to Mr. B's office?
No. Why would I do that? I mean, he's the head coach. This is what he says. Okay, fine. But we also had an owner didn't come in and try to have team meetings. He wasn't giving us pep talks. He wasn't saying this or that or other. Yep. What Mike said went. We knew that if we were there because Mike wanted us to be there.
Mr. Bolin empowered Mike Shanahan to run the organization, and you knew who was in charge.
You hear that, Jerry?
Interesting. By the way, I got to compliment you on your early Man Behind the Curtain reference. Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, Wizard of Oz.
Thank you. It's a great movie. All-time.
Yeah.
I just had to throw that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Oh, right. You do know.
Dude, you know how petrified were you of the flying monkeys back in the day?
There's no place like home.
Scary.
There's no
Joy,
place.
were you scared?
The first time I watched
monkeys?
Wizard of Oz, it's got that like little weird. It's got a little weird feel to it.
On?
Do I?
Yeah.
Always.
You have ruby slippers?
Yeah. That movie is the all-time underdog team winning story, right?
Yeah.
Are they not the underdog?
Right, absolutely.
Huh?
Skip, I don't know why you don't think I don't watch TV.
I don't know. Did you watch Wizard of Oz?
I mean, it came on Disney a couple of times.
You used to call me the Tin Man. I'd have to get oiled up. I got to get oiled up just to get out there.
You'll see how he be walking.
No mercy. The Eagles have won 9 straight, but Sunday night they will be on the road in Seattle. Shannon, give us your prediction.
Wow.
You know, Skip on the Great Pacific Northwest. You know what he do. Walk into him. He been up there.
Is he?
They said they going up there early. Get acclimated.
He'll probably walk all the way up.
Walk into him. I know he going to walk some tubs.
Yeah.
To Aguilar and Ernst. Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. And the thing is, Skip, I got the Eagles 27-23. We know what the Seahawks represent in this building. They're a resilient bunch. They're still in the thick of this playoff hunt. They believe they can catch the Rams and win this division. They can ill afford to give up any ground. The Eagles have the MVP currently. He's playing as the MVP.
Oh, is
the
he?
numbers back it up. His QBR back it up. The win-loss record back it up. They're going for 10 in a row. 10.
10?
Who's thrown for the most yards?
Tom Brady.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
You want yards or you want dubs? Now, I give you what you want now. You want the main course or you want appetizer, Joy? What you want?
I want postseason dubs.
Oh, well,
okay.
That my man gonna get one. He gonna get those.
Is he?
Yeah, I see Super Bowl in his future.
Is he gonna get 3 in a row?
I see Super Bowl in his future.
Okay.
Don't you?
You know what's ironic about this conversation?
What?
Is that before the year started, you told me that the Seattle Seahawks were going to win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
So have you already abandoned ship? They're 7-4. They're still hanging in there.
Yeah.
Right?
I ain't abandoned
Are you
ship.
out?
Skip.
Are you out?
No.
Yes.
Here's the thing.
Yes, you're out.
I love the Eagles front seven against Seattle's old line. Skip, they can't run the ball. Now, the D-line, that front seven for the Eagles, they lead the league in quarterback hits. Russell Wilson gets hits the most of any quarterback. That's the perfect storm up there.
I would say.
Yeah, you watch Deadliest Catch when they go out there with King Crab in the Bear Sea. I want to do that show. Skip, you want to do it with me?
I do not want to do it.
I want to do it. I'm going to do it. Joy, come on, Joy. What about adventure? I thought you was adventurous. Well, stay here in your studio.
I'll eat what you bring back.
I'm allergic to shellfish. I can't. But I got the Eagles, 27-23.
Why so close?
Skip, the Seahawks are a very good team.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Wait, is Richard Sherman playing?
No.
Oh, is Cam Chancellor?
No.
Is Cliff Averill?
No.
Well, wait, J.D. McKittrick, is it?
They still got Bennett. Bobby Wagner is in the Defensive Player of the Year
is he?
discussion. Okay. Earl Thomas.
Shaquille Griffin, you love him?
Skip, go ahead and make your point.
So my point is that you have jumped from one bandwagon to the other bandwagon, and now, unfortunately, the new bandwagon is about to run over the old bandwagon. But you have jumped on the new one,
No.
so you're in charge.
No.
And you're kind of keeping it close. But listen, this should be a mismatch. This is the hottest team in the NFL with the
hottest quarterback
the hottest
in the NFL.
Quarterback and the front runner for MVP. It shouldn't be that way, but he
should.
is the front runner for MVP at this point, playing against a Seattle defense that has been decimated and an offense that has become Russell Wilson or bust behind an incredibly porous offensive line, and it's been too often bust.
Yep.
So has he been now, Russell Wilson, exposed because he doesn't have that defense to have his back anymore? Is that possible?
No, he's not exposed because he's 82% of their offense.
Oh, okay.
So, no, he's still making plays because, I mean, he doesn't make any excuses that I don't have a running game. He doesn't make excuses that my offensive line can't protect me. All he does is go out there and win 7.
Okay.
That's all he does.
So how many times should he get sacked on Sunday night? What, 6, 7,
He
8?
might not get sacked, but I believe he'll get hit a bunch.
Hit a bunch. I think he's going to get sacked a bunch by that front 7 because it is really
Fletcher.
strong.
You know about Fletcher Cox.
I saw
and
him.
Brandon Graham.
I saw him
and
a couple
Barnett,
Sunday nights ago.
Curry.
Yeah. All of them. Keep going.
That be
Keep
coming.
going.
That be coming.
New bandwagon
That
rolling.
be coming.
You're driving
That be
it.
coming. That
Yeah.
be coming.
Yeah.
And they got old Darby back there. Old
Yeah,
Darby
they
be
got
picking
Darby
off.
back there, right?
And Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah. Huh.
Fighting power.
They got a running game.
Winnebago.
Blunt.
Y'all had him up there in New England. They
You
let
don't
that
think they
Winnebago
miss
go.
him? They got this little guy. You don't like little guys. They got this tiny little Dion Lewis now running the ball for New England. I don't know how they survive.
Well, Winnebago. And Joy, y'all gave us old Jay Ajayi.
Yeah.
Old Jay, run that thing, Jay.
So it's a team without a
J-Train.
weakness, right? Against a team that has many weaknesses.
They have some weaknesses.
Fatal flaws.
I mean, they got, Big V playing left tackle, the crowd knows.
no,
so
that's not a weakness.
you
That's a strength.
What is your score prediction?
My score is Eagles easily 30-14
Oh,
over what's
stop.
left of Seattle. Well, they should win 30-14.
No, they shouldn't.
You know they should, and I know they should.
You try to put pressure on them.
No,
I know
I'm
what you try to do.
not. I'm
Yeah,
not.
you do.
I'm just speaking the truth.
I tell you what will be the score.
I'm acknowledging
I know what
the
30.
facts.
I know what. No, it'd be 38-10.
What?
Last game of the season. Oh, but no,
No, wait a second. You're not going to play. Well,
no. Wentz will be in the shell. He won't even dress out.
Will you give me 28 in the last game?
He won't even dress out. He won't even dress out.
I'll take 28.
He'll have the division sold up. He'll have home field advantage sold up. He'll have the MVP sold up.
You leaped before you looked.
No mercy. The Lakers took the Warriors to overtime last night, but Golden State came away with a 127-123 win. Kevin Durant scored 29 points, and Steph Curry had 28, including 13 in overtime. Lonzo Ball had one of his better games of the season, scoring 15 points, including 3 three-pointers. After the game, Luke Walton and Lonzo talked about the improved shooting.
Well, he's been shooting the lights out in practice the last week or so. And I told him before the game, I said, Zoe, you're going to be one of the best point guards in this league. You are. So embrace this challenge. If you're open and it's in rhythm, and I thought most of them tonight were in rhythm.
I was just out there playing, man, just trying to help my team win. Had a good looks tonight, coming off the screens. I'm not thinking about it, just letting it go.
Shannon, what was your takeaway?
The Lakers played hard. Golden State was really careless with the basketball. I thought Zoe pushed the pace when he could. He caught the Warriors napping a couple of times and one dribble in the head, and Julius Randle was dunking the ball, and Steve Kerr got a quick timeout because he didn't like the way they were playing. They were really extremely sloppy. I think at one point in the second quarter, they were already up to like 9 or 10 turnovers, which is very uncharacteristic. But sometimes they can get sloppy when they don't respect their opponent. But is this where we are now? The second pick in the draft had a 15-10 night. In 21 games, he's only scored 15 or more points 3 times. Is that where we are, Skip? Shouldn't we expect him to do this on a nightly basis? The guy is the second pick of in the draft. And we're like, oh, wow, Lonzo had a good night. Skip, he was 5 of 12. He shot 41%. Now, granted, it's way above the 30% that he's normally shooting. But where are we? I mean, we're getting excited when you're getting excited because I told you he's going to be a transcendent player. And plus, he shot the 3 ball really well at UCLA. Not the fact that it was 3 feet shorter. But anyway, Skip, for him, I believe because of the shot, and I read something that Chauncey Billups said, that he believes Lonzo Ball should call Kevin Martin, who also had a funky shot, Skip, but Kevin Martin averaged there was a stretch there for like 6 years. He averaged 20-plus points. At one point in Sacramento, he was up to 24.5 points a game.
Took him a while to figure it out.
Right, exactly. But Kevin Martin is more of a scorer than Lonzo is. Lonzo is more of a facilitator. So I don't know if scoring, getting up into the 20-point range is realistic for him. I just think he's going to shoot a low percentage until he figured this funky shot out. But, I mean, you might be happy, but I'm not happy. I mean, they're still in the 11th spot. You thought they were going to make the playoffs. I said no way. I still don't believe they're going to make the playoffs. But if you want me to be excited, I'm happy for you, Skip, that he shot 5 of 12 and he had 15 points. But what did he do in the fourth quarter? You say you like crunch time. You like guys to play big in fourth quarter.
Joy, have I spoken?
No, I'm just asking you.
It's like you're answering everything that I've not said.
No.
I haven't said a thing yet.
I mean, you like guys that play well in the final minutes
Seriously,
of the ballgame.
I haven't even said one word.
Skip, all I'm
it's
saying,
like unbelievable.
I'm talking out loud. I'm talking to myself. Well, Skip like guys that play well in the fourth quarter and overtime, and I'm looking at Lonzo's numbers, and he had 0 points or 3 field goals in the fourth quarter and overtime, but he did have 3 assists. So I'm just wondering where Skip Bayless is going to go with this. This is me thinking out loud, Joey. But I'm not.
Tell me when it's my turn.
I will in a minute. I'm not overly excited. The number 2 pick in the draft should be expected to get 15 points. He should be expected to dole out 10 assists in a ball game. But all I know is my restaurant got a pop-up one, Joey, right there in Westwood. Nothing. Got one table in the sign. Hot L's or hot dubs? Which one you want, Skip?
You're not serving water anymore?
Nope, I ain't serving water anymore because I want you to choke off this hot L or hot dub, Skip. Hot L or hot dub, Skip.
Tell me when you're finished.
I'm finished.
You're finished? Good. So, in a second, I'm going to tell you why I was generally disappointed in Lonzo Ball's game last night. That's what I'm going to tell you, but I want to remind our viewers that this man across from me has already condemned him as a bust. So, and just as he said, Dak Prescott, flash in the pan, one-hit wonder. Lonzo Ball, bust is the second pick of the draft, says Shannon Sharpe.
When
just
did I
take
say
that
that?
to your bank. You've said it again and again and again. Then you try to backtrack out of, well, but maybe if he...
No, ain't no maybe. I just said I don't believe he's transcendent like you do.
Okay, before I get to what happened last night, I'm going to frame what's happened to Lonzo Ball for 21 games now. Remember, we're still in the month of November, right? We're still in November, 21 games in. He just turned the age of 20 about a month ago. So far, he has 2 triple-doubles. The one at Milwaukee was 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 13 assists. Pretty good. And he has so far 5 double-doubles, including the game last night. And against Eric Bledsoe and Devin Booker in Phoenix, he went 29, 11, and 9, a near triple-double, and he made 4 threes in that game. So he now has 5 games of making at least 3 threes in a game. And in back-to-back games, he had 16 rebounds and 13 rebounds. That's all in the first 21 games of his career, as he barely has turned 20 years of age, okay? So just that's the frame. Now let's get to last night. He did have a terrific flurry, big flurry in the third quarter that got interrupted by a gash in the top over the eye. Had to leave, go in, they put a butterfly on it, then they had to stitch it after the game. He got 3 stitches. No big deal, but it interrupted the flow of one of those wow stretches where he just went crazy.
LeBron got stitched up during the game.
You got it. Well, okay, so let's compare Lonzo Ball to LeBron James. Not a fair comparison yet. Not yet.
Ever.
So the reason I was generally disappointed, and the reason I do continue to say, as Doc Rivers said the other night, he's not going to be good, he's going to be great, as Earl Watson sat right there and said, he's not going to be good, he's going to be great. I don't get the mindset. I feel like for the first month and a half of this season, Lonzo Ball has been on a mission to show everyone, I'm not my father. And last night, I was generally disappointed in his lack of aggression, his lack of assertiveness, his one pass to the perimeter and drift to the weak side and stand and watch his teammates try to create a shot. I don't get it. I don't know who he is. I don't know, because I'll see the flash. So I saw some great things last night. I saw some good things last night. And I saw a whole bunch of non-things last night where he dribbled the ball up the floor, and he'd look and just flip a pass to the perimeter. You know, just
what would you have him to
wing.
do in the half-court set, Skip?
Just attack. When he wants to attack, he can get in the lane. He's 6 feet 7 inches tall, has not a good handle, a great handle. He has supreme quickness and speed, and he can get downhill on you fast. So if he just brings the ball up the floor with pace and urgency and just takes it in the lane, then you create open shots for your teammates or you create one for yourself. And I see timid, I see passive, I see disengaged. I don't get it. I'm just screaming at my TV, just do something with the basketball.
Well, what happens when he doesn't get an opportunity to bring the ball up the court?
Well, they played him with Jordan Clarkson a lot last night, which was good because you got Steph and Clay, so they can guard.
Right.
And listen, Lonzo can guard. He did a really nice job on Steph and Clay until overtime, when finally Steph Curry said, this is enough of this. And he makes 2 threes to start the overtime. One was on Lonzo, one was not on Lonzo. And then he made a long 2, and that was basically it, even though the Lakers kept fighting back. So this is now 4 times at home that this team has been in position to win a game that it should have won. And all 4 times, I'm going to blame the 19, barely 20-year-old Lonzo Ball. If you're the leader, if you're the leader of this team, you have to organize them. You have to create good shots instead of just flipping it to the wing and saying, you go one-on-one, try to get a shot over there. And Brandon Ingram was sensational last night. All last year, I said Brandon Ingram played timid and passive, and all of a sudden, in his second year, guess what happened? I think Magic lit a fire under him as Magic set on a show.
Let's not pretend like he's been like this Golden State game all year, because he hasn't.
But he's been much more in attack mode than he was last year, because he can go a little soft. He's not a soft player, but he just drifts mentally where he doesn't go up strong. Last night, he was strong the whole game. And guess what happened? 30-something happened.
But Skip, before any great player can have success, they must go through failure and hardships. You make it seem like they should just, the Lakers are a young team. They don't have anybody with playoff experience.
But they didn't even have Kyle Kuzma last night. He had a back spasm in the warm-ups, and he couldn't go. This is a talented young team that should have won 4 home games, and if they had, they'd be right in the thick of that 7-8 spot in the Western Conference, because there are a lot of disasters so far in the Western Conference, including one we're about to talk about now, and I don't know if they're going to be a disaster all year, but Oklahoma City is 8-12.
But the thing is, though, Skip, and you keep trying to label, you said he's going to be a bust. All I'm saying is that I don't see transcendent like you. I don't see life changer like you. And maybe he does need to be aggressive, but I thought he showed flashes of aggression. But when you're in the half-court set, Skip, nobody, even Russ, doesn't drive the ball to the basket every time. John Wall, some of these better elite point guards, Kyrie doesn't drive every time. Sometimes it calls for you to pass the ball to the wing, and then you go stand in the corner, or you go set a pick for somebody. Skip, it's going to take...
There's one sequence late in the second quarter, and I didn't ask for the video of this because I don't want to dwell on it, but Lonzo walks the ball up the floor, and Jordan Clarkson's in. And they don't often play together. Jordan Clarkson's just standing on the wing, and he flips in the ball, and Jordan catches it, and defender on him, and he throws it back to Lonzo. And Lonzo throws it back to Jordan, and he throws it back to Lonzo. And I'm saying, just go, just attack. Jordan's saying, you go. And guess what he did for a third time? He flipped it to Jordan, who then dribbled and shot a 3. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said, well, you didn't want it?
Okay, good. Yeah.
So what you want, Skip?
I want to see this kid is trying to say, I'm not my father.
Skip, I'm unselfish. He ain't thinking about his dad.
I'm quiet. I'm humble. I'm not going to try to be the center of attention
here.
He is what he is. I'm going to show my teammate. Listen, he can be so much better, and he will be. Again, we're still in the month of November.
So then all of a sudden the light's going to go up. You know what? I'm going to show him I am like my father. I'm just like my father.
I feel like he's trying to set the bar a little lower than it was set. The ZO2s are dropping now, so
well, I ain't got mine.
Well, you better.
I wonder what Darren Ravel got.
I don't know.
He didn't even buy them.
I saw that. Yeah.
He's got the connect.
And to connect my butt, he need to connect me with my $500 of my shoes. That's what he needs
sure
to
Darren
do.
didn't buy it? I don't know.
No, he didn't buy it.
No, he didn't. I don't know.
He was talking about them. I bought them. Me and Marcellus Wiley, we were some of the first ones to step out there. Jay-Z bought like 9 pair.
Yeah.
The Game bought like 8, 9 pair.
Yeah.
I bought a pair early on. Now, I need my shoes, LeVar Ball.
I was not impressed with the shoe.
I don't care. I want my shoes.
They tweaked it. You know, they got a remix shoe after what Lonzo wore in the summer.
I don't care if they twerked it. I want my shoes. So shake them shoes on down here to Shay Sharpe.
You know, they're going to be collector's items.
They're going to be collected.
I think Darren Ravel was predicting that in a month or so on eBay, they're going to go for like 1,000.
Well, I'm going to call the original Triple B's if I don't have my shoes by next week. The Better Business Bureau. I'm a legend fraud.
Yeah.
They said the shoes would ship on the 24th. It don't take them that long, Skip. They're right here in California.
You know, they did ground, you know.
Hell, I'm in California. The shoes in California. What? Is the postal man walking? I know they have on shorts,
You know
but
what?
they drive a...
Maybe they dropped him and somebody
You know what might have happened is
What?
LeVar Ball, who can be a little vindictive, he might have just said, Sharpe is out. We're not going to send, because he's been just killing my son.
Okay,
He's
that's
been
fine.
killing my son.
But I tell you
he has
what-
called my son a bust, so he ain't getting no shoes.
And Sharpe is vindictive.
Yeah.
If they don't get Sharpe here 500,
Oh, you better
it's
go
going to be trouble. It's going to be, hey, it's going to be some furniture moving.
it'll go from big baller brand to Better Business Bureau.
Exactly.
Right.
Hey, it's going to be some furniture moving.
Yeah, okay.
Joy, you trying to move?
I'm not trying. I didn't order those shoes.
Hey, well, if they don't get my shoes, I'll move
You
some
got to
furniture.
work on your sneaker connect.
No, they need, Skip. The shoes shipped on the 24th. What's today's date, Skip? Now, if the shoes not here by next week, Wednesday, it's going to be trouble.
Today is November 30th. You better hope you get them by
It's going to be
tomorrow.
trouble, Skip.
By the way, Darren Ravel did make the point, I watched his little video, that it usually takes 6 months from start to finish of the creation of a shoe. So
Skip, I ordered the shoe last
You
year.
can't be too impatient.
Yes,
It's been
I can.
6 months.
Yeah, it's been 6 months.
It's a
well,
new
that's-
business.
yeah.
You know, they're working on the infrastructure.
Well, he got my old money. Well, no, now I want my shoes.
Well, you talk your way out of your
No,
shoes.
I ain't talking about. No, my $500 talked me into those shoes, so I need them, Skip. Now
No,
you need to go talk to
LeVar
them.
talked you into those shoes.
Yeah.
And
See,
out of your $500.
I tried to help a young entrepreneur.
I need to learn from LeVar. That's all I got to do to get $500 out of you?
What kind of shoes you making?
I don't know.
I
I'll
mean,
just draw a sketch of some shoes.
I hook it up.
You know? There we go.
But not like my boy hooked me up with these off-whites.
Can I get $500?
No, I ain't gonna be able to do that.
20?
I might outrun Jason Witten in these right here, Skip.
No mercy. The Thunder continue to struggle. They lost their third straight last night, this time to the Magic on the road. Aaron Gordon had 40 points for Orlando, and Russell Westbrook scored 37, including 20 in the fourth quarter. We're joined by NBA champ Steven Jackson.
Ooh,
Welcome
champ.
back.
Glad to be here.
Steven, what is wrong with OKC?
Well, when I began the season, I said they're going to be okay. If they learn how to play defense, they'll be a great team. They got 3 of the best scorers in the world. They should be all right in offense. I was wrong. I'm admitting that today. Because they're 4th in defense.
Right.
They're playing great defense. I didn't expect that.
Right.
Melo's not known. He's not known to be a defensive player.
Yeah.
You know, but for the most part, I did say that the best player, the most valuable player on the team would be Steven Adams. And he's doing a great job of protecting the paint. So they're doing good on defense. But they're 28th in field goal percentage. Nobody could have said that this team would be 28th in field goal percentage, having 3 of the best scorers in the game. So for some reason, I think that they haven't found a way to play together on offense. And assist-wise, they're not sharing the ball. They're 28th in assists. Some kind of way they're not playing together like we need them to. And it's showing with their record. But I expected them some kind of way find it, man, because they're also talented and they can learn how to play together. It's not working on offense, and I did not expect that.
The thing is, the reason why I'm not surprised at the field goal percentage is because none of them shoots a high field goal percentage. Russell Westbrook shot like 42%. Carmelo is like a 45%.
Right.
So is Paul George. So I'm not surprised because a lot of those guys are shooting jump shots.
Right.
It's not like LeBron. LeBron is shooting close into the paint. Steven Adams, yeah, he's playing good defense, but for $25 million, I need more offense. There's no way a 6'3" point guard should lead your team if you have a 7-footer that's playing 25, 35 minutes a game.
Right.
And that's what Steven Adams is doing. He's not leading the team in rebounding. He's got to lead the team in rebounding. Take some of that pressure up. But the biggest problem is that you have 2 guys that are really ball dominant. Carmelo has always been the best player on his team. Now he's not the best player. He doesn't know how to play without the ball.
Right.
Russ needs the ball. He knows how to play, but he's like, I can't leave these guys behind. Paul George, over the last 3 years, now he's the only guy that can play. He can play somewhat, but he's had the ball in his hand. So now what started out, okay, everybody was shooting about 17 times a game. averaging about 20 points a game. Everybody was key and happy.
It was all good.
But now, all of a sudden, up-tick Russ, down-tick a little bit in Paul George and Carmelo. They need to realize it's Russ, and then we got to find a way to fit in. Because Russ trying to appease everybody is not going to work, Skip. It's not going to work. And as we mentioned earlier, the trade deadline is coming. These guys at 500, Paul George can walk. Carmelo's in an option year. What you going to do?
They got to figure it out.
So the one thing I love the most about this man is how much he loves the game of basketball. You live for the game of basketball. You still do, and you still play it at a high level. It's a beautiful game to watch if you know how to play, as they say, the right way.
Right.
And you were blessed enough to be in a system in San Antonio where you learned a lot.
Learned a lot.
You clashed a lot, but you learned a lot.
I learned more than I clashed.
You did. You did.
Definitely.
You learned how the game is supposed to be played at the highest level. And these guys don't have any idea how to play it that way because Carmelo has never, it's not like he's going to run off screens. He is a ball stopper in a great way. I love Carmelo. I love to watch him play.
He's
but
ISO.
You just ISO. You either flip it to him on the wing or you lob it to him in the low post and let him operate.
That's it.
Right?
Right.
And he's got a big, strong bull of a body. Kobe used to say he's the hardest guy to guard, especially down low, because he can just body you up and bounce you back. And now you got two solo acts trying to figure each other out, Russ and Melo. And I still say Paul George, you made the point earlier that he's always been the focal point of whatever team he was on since he was a little kid. And yet he will share the ball better than these two know how, because Russ got his assists last year. He would just attack, attack, and at the last second, because remember he had Enes Kanter, and you can say what you want about him on social media, but he can play, man.
Offense, he can play offense.
He can play. And Russ learned last year, if I draw two to the rim, two defenders, and I'm up, all I have to do is just leave it on the floor. And one of those guys can dunk it or just lay it up, right?
Right.
And that's how you get 10 assists a game.
Yes.
Well, that's not how you do it with Carmelo and Paul George. No. And so you look at you just glance at the overall and you say, oh, look, Russ is averaging 22 points, Paul 21, and Melo 20. Oh, beautiful.
But you're 8 and 12.
No, you're 8 and 12 because it's not connected.
Right.
It's not. There's no flow to it. There's no chemistry. I know it's like the cliche of basketball, but there's zero chemistry on offense, which is why they're ranked 22nd in offense, because there's no efficiency to it whatsoever.
No
Your
identity.
turn, my turn. Okay?
And the thing is, Skip, is that you mentioned when Russ averaged 10 assists last year, he had Enes Kanter and he had Adam. They're dive guys. They're going to dive to the basket. He can drop it off. Carmelo and Paul George aren't dive guys. They're standing on the perimeter. So when you get there and you got two guys meeting you at the rim, what do? Now you got to kick it out, and boom. There are no easy buckets that they're going to get. And that's the problem. Carmelo, now he can get hot, he can go get you 50, but he can stink it up and all of a sudden he goes 6 for 20. We saw Russ the other night, Skip. He went, 7 for 29?
He does, and he'll do that.
Yes, and what happened last night, he got hot in the fourth quarter. Well, if he's getting hot, he's continuing to shoot.
Everybody else cold.
They can't get no rhythm.
Melo and Paul both had 3 shots in the fourth quarter.
Hey, Russell Westbrook was spectacular in the fourth quarter. Where it's like, refuse to lose, get out of my way, give me the damn ball, I'm going to shoot this. And he's contested threes. He made 5 of them, and they lost the quarter 34-28 and got blown.
But that's the thing, though, Skip. That's great. Get out of my way when you got Victor Oladipo and Robertson on the wing. But now you got Paul George and Carmelo. You said get out my way. That's not going to work as well. And that's the thing, though. I believe they can figure it out. But man,
he made a good point though. Like, those guys really haven't been coached by great coaches. You know, I played for Don Nelson, Greg Popovich, Larry Brown, Rick Carlisle. I played for great coaches.
You know what?
In my career.
You were really blessed.
I was blessed in my career to play for some great coaches that really had my back. But I think to simplify it for these guys, they need to play their position. They're not playing their position. I think Russ needs to worry about just being a point guard. Right. Oh, you're a shooting guard. Be a shooting guard. Melo, you're a power forward now.
You want to play? Oh,
You a 4 now. They got Roberson at the 3. Melo, you're a power forward. You have to be a power forward. You have to rebound. You have to post up. You have to be a big man. You have to set screens and roll. If they're not going to play their position, it's not going to work. They have no identity right now.
They need to put Melo at 3.
I would love to see you try to coach this team, because
I would love to play on that team. Because I know those guys respect me, and I lead by example when I play.
Right.
And I think they need that one guy in there that'll go out there and die for the team, die for balls, and get that sense of urgency on that team that they don't have right now.
Well,
I just
8 and 12.
It does not feel right to me. It doesn't feel that fixable to me.
I remember my team. You know, my team was like one time like 5 and 7 or 4 and 7.
Your team.
Yeah, you know.
I still trust these guys, though. They that good. I still trust these three. I don't know if it's going to happen, but for some reason, I still trust them.
But one thing about LeBron James that I always say, he will share the ball.
Yeah.
It's what he does best.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh, he can score too now.
Well,
Don't sleep on him about scoring.
He can do it all.
He can do it all.
As he said the other night, I am not a jump shooter.
No, they trying to make him one. He's saying he's not one, but if I need to be.
That's not the only thing he said the other night.
The King.
He
said a lot. He said a lot, Joy. He said a lot.
What's his name? Kane Fitzgerald?
The King.
That's what you're calling him now?
The King? No, I call
LeBron
the King.
I thought you were talking about
Kane.
I thought you were talking about Kane.
No, not Kane. Kane is never getting love from me. I don't give referees no love.
We might throat punch him.
Yeah, I don't give referees no love.
No, you don't need a throw punch. You can air punch him.
Yeah. Me and Stack see him walking the street. We gonna take turns throat punching him.
If you got to make the noise.
Yeah.
That's your punch.
No, just walk up on him aggressively. You remember, in a threatening manner.
You be gone.
No mercy. Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. We are not on FS1 tomorrow, but Skip and Shannon will be going live on the Undisputed Facebook page at 10 a.m. Eastern. Be sure to check it out.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.